This is a very good question. There's a lot of stuff that has origins in Eastern religions. Let me just mention an interesting thing. You'll recall from the Torah that after Sarah died, Avram took another wife, and her name was Keturah. According to Chazal, Keturah is actually Hagar that he took back, but whether it's Hagar or another wife is not important for our question. And Avram had many children from this wife Keturah, and it says in the Torah, he gave them gifts, and he sent them to the east, because he wanted Yitzchok to take over the covenant. And according to some commentaries, the gifts that he gave them were the wisdom that became the foundation of Eastern religions, and sending them to the East, quite literally, meant to India, to China, and the like. And as a result, the core of the Eastern religions, not the idolatry, but the core of the Eastern religions, the wisdom and the healing, actually may come from Avram. So there actually may be a Jewish connection to various aspects of Buddhism and even Hinduism. Again, not the paganism aspect, but some of the fundamental philosophies. But still, whatever the origin is, we always have a problem that if something originated in paganism, in idolatry, then one would think that you're not allowed to use it as a believing Jew because you're tapping into those idolatrous forces. Again, one would have to talk to their own rabbi to get a definitive answer about this. But the general approach is that even something that had a treif, a non-kosher origin, if it is now employed for benign, secular, non-religious purposes, you can separate the technique from the underlying ideology of it. So yoga can be taken as exercise, relaxation, calming me down. I'm no longer connecting it with worshiping idols or worshiping other gods. In fact, I can even take this relaxation technique and use it to give praise to my God. I could take as a mantra, for example, Shema Yisrael, hear Israel, that there's only one God. So I believe that the general consensus is that as long as the yoga is not presently connected with idolatry and it's being employed for relaxation and for exercise and for calming, you can kind of kosher it and direct it into the service of God. Because again, taking care of yourself is also part of divine service, and you don't have to pay attention to its original origin. Now, based on that, I actually feel that it's fairly important to get the right yoga instructor, meaning to say, if you have a yoga instructor who is using yoga as part of a religious ceremony, then even if that's not your intention, I think it would be improper to be part of that class because you're tapping into the negative spiritual energies that he's tapping into. If, on the other hand, you get a Jewish yoga instructor, particularly if they're religious, that's even better, who is connected to Torah and mitzvos, and yoga is seen as a benign tool to improve your health, then I think you don't have to worry about the historical origin of where it came from. So I do think you do have to look at the nature of the class, because there are yoga classes that emphasize some type of religious connection, and there are those that don't, and you want to look for the ones that disconnect it from the Eastern religions.
Moment of Wisdom, sub-brief and life-changing moments. Join us. Subscribe to Moment of Wisdom channels on YouTube, Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp.